Wow, it's been a while, friend. I've missed your beautiful face, and a lot has happened in the past few weeks. Things still aren't looking too hot for Apple, and the rumors of what they have planned for this year don't look so great, which we'll talk about in a moment. But this may be the year of the Android. See, there are a ton of really crazy designs coming from Team Android, and the Samsung Galaxy S10 is right around the corner. So the question is, can the Samsung Galaxy S10 overthrow the Apple iPhone XS? I'm not so sure. We'll talk about all that and more because this is Tech Today, and welcome to Season 2. Hey friend, this is Brennan, your host of This is Tech Today, your source for honest tech reviews, the news, and my views, and you're watching This is Tech This Week, a weekly show in addition to my other content, where I go over tech news from this past week that personally interests me. If that's something that you're interested in, make sure to share, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified of when I post a new video, or cell phone companies will keep adding tons of cameras to their phones and trigger your tryptophobia.
Trypophobia is an aversion to the sight of irregular patterns or clusters of small holes or bumps.
The end of last year was a bad time for Apple, and so far it looks like some of the aftershocks of a bad holiday season remain. You see, sales dropped 22% in China, and it looks like that'll continue throughout 2019. And then price cuts continue to happen on the iPhone XR in markets outside the United States, and there's an option to pay monthly in the US. On the plus side, the iPhone XR is the most popular device, beating the iPhone XS and XS Max. The downside is that investors see that as less profit being made, and still see the declining phone sales overall. So the question ends up being, can Apple recover in 2019? Will the next round of iPhones provide a compelling reason for people to upgrade? Let's look at the rumors and see if it is interesting enough for you. Leave your thoughts in the comments below on whether you think this will be enough for Apple to not only retain its spot as the high-selling smartphone model, but also turn things around. First, there's the design leaks that suggest that it'll have this square layout on the back with 3 cameras. There's a lot of conflicting details and thoughts on what the third camera is. Some say it's a depth sensor, it's for augmented reality, greater zoom, or for better low light. First, let's just say that the design is not good. It looks really bad. Second, what do you actually want in a third lens? What is practical for you? I honestly would rather have a wide angle lens over something for augmented reality. But good news. Well, maybe. The square design isn't the only potential layout for the camera. I don't know which one I like more. It's not good. The horizontal layout makes me think of some LG phone designs on the back, and I hate to say it, but I think I like the square layout more? I just want something better. At least the front notch looks smaller and will likely host an improved Face ID sensor and a rumored high-quality front-facing camera. And that's it. It's not really much of a change, is it? Which design do you like more, and what do you think the third lens is, and what do you want to have in a new iPhone? Come discuss it with us on the This is Tech Today community Discord server. We're a helpful and kind group creating the tech community we've been looking for. There's a link down below in the description. To be honest, I really don't think that this is enough to convince people to upgrade, but at least it looks like AirPower is coming soon. Plus, they hired a former Samsung executive that oversaw the battery division there. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? So while Apple is putting out phones that essentially look the same as before, but uglier, it looks like Android manufacturers are trying to be as unique as possible. It's super odd to say that Android manufacturers are pushing the design trends again. Now, keep in mind that specs or tech is a different story, but the designs, that's something else. First, leaks seem to suggest that the upcoming OnePlus 7 will have a slide-up front-facing camera to eliminate any notches or hole punches. This is similar to the Oppo Find X, so this will definitely please those fidgeters out there. Remember fidget cubes? There's a weird video that I made about that. There's definitely not a link hidden in the description. Nope, I'm just gonna put this away. Then we have the upcoming Oppo phone that will have a 10x optical zoom. At first glance, this doesn't seem like a big deal until you realize that it's a physical zoom rather than a digital zoom. This is like having a big lens like this where it requires a lot of space to zoom. When you guys have asked me what I have wanted in a feature phone, this has been one of the things. And I thought it wasn't gonna happen for some time because of the amount of engineering it would take to make something like a DSLR zoom lens fit into a smartphone. It's nuts. That's cool. Now, Meizu, which I've never really heard of before in America, is one of 2 companies trying to go for a minimal look. They said that the Meizu Zero will have no buttons, no speaker holes, no SIM card slot, and no charging port. It'll be constructed out of ceramic like the Essential phone, so that'll allow wireless charging, and I'd imagine the sound would come out of the screen, which is pretty neat. And it's waterproof. I mean, it better be if there's no holes, right? The other phone going for the ultimate minimalism is the Vivo Apex. It is portless and buttonless, and it also packs 5G capabilities, 12 gigabytes of RAM, which must have been found from the 4 gigabytes that the Pixel 3 must have lost. I don't know. And a full screen fingerprint reader. It's so minimal that it almost looks a little bit off to me and definitely looks a bit chunky in this video. It's smooth like a stone and I'd be tempted to skip it across water. And I know there's a bottom bezel, but can I share an unpopular opinion? I like having a little bit of a bezel at the bottom. It makes it easier for me to navigate, and on top of that reduces accidental touches. Let me know if I'm not the only one that thinks that. And finally, the most crazy design that we've seen in the group outside of Samsung. Xiaomi, they showed off this foldable tablet phone teaser video, and it's pretty crazy. And if you look at it, it folds from two different sides. The one thing that I'm noticing in all of these foldable phone tablets are these indentations on all the screens. That isn't the best look and makes me worried about the strength of the touch layer. Maybe it'll improve over the next few years. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know that I often ask this freshman girl at my work questions about tech. You know, I just want an everyday person's perspective, and she said that it would give her anxiety to use this phone. She'd worry that it would break or snap off or something. In her opinion, she said that there was nothing wrong with classic stiff phones, so don't fix it if it isn't broken. To be fair, I do think it really is an interesting design. I just don't know how well people will respond to it. What do you think of all of these unique design trends from the Android side? Go ahead and leave a comment below. So speaking of design, what do you think of the new look for the channel? I was able to create some of the fancy stuff on this channel because of this video sponsor, Storyblocks. I've been working on it for a couple months and was having a lot of issues with finding a motion graphic designer that I liked, was available, who wasn't flaky, and was affordable. So I had to take it into my own hands and make my own. Because of Storyblocks, I was able to find the right clips I wanted from their massive library of studio quality HD and 4K video to help put together the outro to this video. By the way, you should totally stay to the end to check it out. It's a lot of fun. If you want to sign up for Storyblocks, you can get unlimited downloads from their constantly growing catalog of royalty-free content that also includes photos and audio clips that you can use for YouTube and even commercial and personal projects. If you'd like to sign up and support the channel, check out the link in the description. And seriously, it saved me a ton of stress and money when putting together the look of the channel, and I hope it can help you as well. Thank you so much, Storyblocks, for supporting this community, and thank all of you who help support me by supporting our sponsors. Go ahead and leave some comments down below on what you think of the new design. All right, let's get right back to it. Ooh, 2019. Is this the year that Samsung can finally claim the throne from Apple? You see, iPhone has been the highest selling smartphone for quite some time, but as we've talked about earlier, sales just haven't been looking too great for them lately. Then that leads us to the question, what does Samsung have in store for us? Well, conveniently, my good friend, there have been quite a few leaks. So let's check it out and we can see if we think it's going to be enough to take the throne when we see it unveiled at their Unpacked event in February. First, there's a headphone jack. Thank you so much, Samsung, for listening to the community and keeping that there. I have to give you points for this one. There's also 3 cameras on the back for the standard S10 and S10 Plus variants, one that will be a wide-angle lens, which I like a lot, a normal lens with dual apertures, and a telephoto lens. If you're gonna have 3 lenses on your phone, I definitely think that this is the trio of options I'd want. The light version will only have 2 lenses. Speaking of cameras, we have to go to the front where we can see the first phone to come to America with the hole punch design, at least as far as I know. On the Lite and S10 versions, there's just a single hole punch for a single lens on the front, while the S10 Plus looks like it'll have 2 lenses. The S10 Plus 5G variant supposedly has a time of flight sensor, which would help with face unlock similar to Face ID on the iPhone. And I'm not gonna lie, it bothers me that the hole is not even with both the X and Y axis, and I prefer it even more if it was centered. If it's not centered, at least make it equal in distance from each edge. Along those edges, we have that curved screen that we've come to know from Galaxy devices, minus the Lite version, which will have a simple flat screen. The Lite version will have a fingerprint scanner in the power button off to the side, while the normal variants will have an in-display ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. Now this is something to take note of because it's not like the OnePlus 6T, which uses an optical scanner. An ultrasonic fingerprint reader should provide more accuracy and prove to be faster, and I really hope that's true. And that's it. It's essentially like a Galaxy S9 Plus that I've used. I mean, the 5G variant plans to have a ceramic back, but why does this kind of seem a bit underwhelming? Sure, there's some phenomenal tech inside of it, and it will definitely open up doors for the industry to do some really cool things, but at the end of the day, if your current phone works fine now, would you upgrade to this? Would the dude at your work or your mom upgrade to the Galaxy S10? I'm not too sure having an extra camera or hole punch design is going to be enough to make people upgrade. And this is why I don't think the Galaxy S10 will be able to dethrone the iPhone for the most sales for a model series. You see, the reality is that the entire smartphone market is slowing down, and I've been talking about this for months. Even if Apple's iPhone sales are decreasing, that doesn't mean that Samsung's isn't either. In fact, we know that theirs is decreasing as well. When you combine that with my criticisms of Apple having too many products in their lineup and how that confuses customers, you have Samsung planning to have 4 versions of the S10 alone, plus a foldable phone tablet. In many ways, I think Samsung is making some of the same mistakes as Apple. They're just taking some significant design risks along the way, which, credit where it's due, but is that enough? Unfortunately, I don't see these phones having a lower price to help encourage sales, but let me know what you think. That's it. Make sure to check out my website at thististechtoday.com, sign up for the newsletter, and grab some of the new This Is Tech Today merch. There's actually a banner below, and if you grab some now, you can use the coupon code in the description below to take 15% off, and that's good until February 10th. If you get some merch, make sure to tag me on social media and use the hashtag TechTodayMerch for shoutout. So make sure you share, subscribe, hit that bell icon if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching This Is Tech Today. You just watched This Is Tech this week. Until next time. Oh, and make sure to watch the outro, and have a great day.